Hello everyone and welcome to a rather special video, if I do just say so myself. Very recently, as in within the past couple of hours, we now have some more official information of the upcoming Dragon Ball Sparking Zero, and we've got some really good information here. So firstly, before getting into anything, do me a favor, leave a like on the video, and do make sure you subscribe to the channel, because 50% of you watching right now are not subscribed. And if you're looking for Sparking Zero content, both prior to its release as well as, you know, when it actually does come out, quite possibly this year or early next year, we'll get into that in a moment, do make sure you subscribe to the channel. I cannot wait for this, I genuinely can't. And also, in the description, I'll link it's a French outlet, I think, or like content creator, I think off the top of my head, I do apologize, who actually went to, I believe it would have been the recent Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour 2024 event, and actually did an interview and got pictures and all of that. And we have about what, 12, 13, 14 questions and answers here. So let's get into it right now. After I just mentioned, G for your flavor of the day, it's the Super Saiyan Lemonade flavor. Try it yourself on checkout and use discount code CAC, C-A-C, to save a bare minimum of 20% off. Okay, let's get into this video. So this was from a French outlet or content creator. I do forget, but again, it'll be linked in the description to go check them out. Give them a follow, all that good stuff. So there may be some translation issues here. Don't worry about it. So starting off, and I do apologize if I butcher these names, Jun Furutani takes the reins of producer of Sparking Zero, as it's written there, and remains under the supervision of Ryo Mito, I apologize, who produced the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi series, and who validates the direction and choices of the new Budokai Tenkaichi, aka Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. This is great. This is fantastic. So the guy who produced Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 is back. I forget if he produced all three of them, so Tenkaichi 1, 2, and 3, but I do believe he produced Tenkaichi 3. And side note, a quick Google search will reveal that apparently this guy produced Xenoverse 2 and Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. I don't know if that's just like a credit rather than him actually producing them. I don't think he did, at least off of Xenoverse 2. That doesn't matter. The guy, look, we are in very safe hands if that guy is supervising Sparking Zero. And the second question to this little screenshot here, as you just saw, the team is open to criticism and it's made up of enthusiastics. Again, I don't think that makes sense in terms of saying it, but it is translated from, well, actually, thinking about it, this should be translated from Japanese, then to French, then to English. So do keep that in mind. With Jun Furutani himself being a big fan, presumably a big fan of Sparking, well, of Dragon Ball, the Tenkaichi games. Dude, we are actually in safe hands here. Moving on. Now, this one may upset a few people, but as of right now, we have confirmation that local split screen is not going to be added, but it could be added. But let's just read this first. The local split screen mode won't be available after all. Not because of the developers, but because of problems with Sony and Microsoft. No mention of Steam or Valve there, or of Nintendo, which is an interesting, quite interesting. No, I say that it's not confirmed for Nintendo Switch. I think it will come out the following year for whatever the next Nintendo console will be. Just remember I've said that. So, because of problems with Sony and Microsoft, which complicates the split screen adaptation, they are trying to find a solution, but for the time being, there will be no split screen, perhaps due to Sony and Microsoft's policies favoring the sale of all consoles. So I do get Microsoft and Sony here. If you've got split screen, then you only need one console and one copy of the game. But why do that when you can not have split screen and then also charge for an online service? So from a business standpoint, I do get it. This doesn't affect me. I don't care if it was going to be added or wasn't going to be added. I probably would have never used it because, you know, online, all that good stuff. You could argue that in the very, very, very far future, when the servers are taken offline, that you won't be able to have like local multiplayer. But by then, I think this would have, you know, got a sequel. But that's like 20, 30 years down the line. Don't worry about that there. yeah, so anyone that was expecting local multiplayer split screen, at least as of right now, it's not going to be in, but they did say they are trying to find a solution, so maybe it will be added in the future, but honestly, at this point, don't expect it at all. Then continuing from that, as you just saw, this wouldn't be the first time such a situation has arisen. The situation may evolve, as I just said, as the team is aware of the demand. Try that again. The developers mentioned that adapting games to the Xbox Series S were particularly difficult. That's interesting. So it may have been, well, according to this, it means that development for the PS5 was quite smooth or not as difficult for next-gen Xbox. Which, okay, that doesn't surprise me, because thinking about it, earlier today, February 2nd, 2024, I did a video of like the upcoming small update for Xenoverse 2, which is going to fix the pre-order bonus, which only affects Xbox Series S and X. So that could be an issue. And if you remember, going back about 13 months to the next-gen release of Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, the PS5, Xbox Series S and X version, for like a couple of weeks, the Xbox Series X version and S version just didn't work. You couldn't get it. So I do think Bandai are having trouble developing for that console. So do keep that in mind right there. But moving on, we shall. This next question, it's not or rather the answer isn't necessarily a surprise, but I know it's going to make a lot of people, me included, quite happy. The Dragon Ball GT characters will be included. Pause. Perhaps in the base game roster or as DLC. That tells me that as of right now, they've not even started making these characters, or they've barely started making them. I mean, look, it's not a surprise that Sparking Zero is not only going to receive DLC, but it's going to receive DLC long term. The last Dragon Ball console game that didn't receive DLC, that actually had it, so Breakers doesn't count, would have been the original Xenoverse game, because after the final DLC came out, within, I want to say, 10, 11 months, we then had the reveal of Xenoverse 2, and that's still getting DLC 7.5 years later. And side note as well, it's all, how many times have I said that in this video? It's already been confirmed that Xenoverse 2 and Sparking Zero, or rather the Xenoverse series, hint, 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 is going to, them both going to run side by side with each other, as they've said that both games will offer an experience that the other one can't. So DLC for Xenoverse 2, expect it at this point, and I mean this like sincerely, expect it to go to at least DLC 24, 25 over the next handful of years. Good stuff there. So I do think they're going to probably streamline GT characters like base form, GT Goku, Super Saiyan 1 and Super Saiyan 3, naturally Super Saiyan 4, GT Vegeta, Super Saiyan 1 and 2 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. And characters like Pan and GT Trunks, I know they are like the main characters of GT, but the more I'm thinking about it, even though I added them to my Sparking Zero character roster prediction video a few days ago, check it out, I kind of have a feeling these won't be included, but instead we'll add like more like the villains like Omega Shenron, not Sin or Ice or Nova, maybe Super 17, but certainly at least Super Baby Vegeta 2 and his giant version, Golden Great Ape Baby Vegeta, Super Vegeta 1 and 2, or whatever it's like his prior forms. They may not be in, but again, that's just speculation, especially because they're mentioning GT characters possibly as DLC, so do keep that in mind right there. Next question is also not a surprise, but it's going to make a lot of people happy, myself included, as this mentions fusions, and my favorite character of Dragon Ball of all time is Vegito Yosha in the comments. The game will also include fusions, then in parentheses, Gogeta, Vegito, and Gotenks. So I think this just confirms those three. Again, that's not a surprise. I do wonder what versions of Gogeta and Vegeta I'm talking about. Super or Dragon Ball Z, GT for Gogeta. Gotenks can go away, no one likes him. Now, the way this comment is posted, we don't know if this also means in Battle Fusion, but given it's a sequel to Tenkaichi 3, I think it's safe to say, I wouldn't be surprised if they are added. If they're not added, it would be more of a surprise. But yeah, so fusions, well, that's 3 new characters confirmed right there. And even, well, it's 3 new characters. Let's go. Let's talk about the planned release date window. And the answer is there. Well, okay, so no, they didn't say what I just said. Let's just be talking. What am I doing? Dude, I'm so excited. I don't know if you can tell. Hit that like button and subscribe. Okay. So they asked about the release date, and this is the answer. There is no precise release date at the moment. The team is working on the game and wants to avoid rushing to release an incomplete game. They're taking their time, envisioning a release in late 2024 or 2025. So I've just realized something here, and again, this may be because of it's in Japanese, translated to French, then translated to English. So late 2024, I'd assume that basically means from October onwards, but it says a release in late 2024 or 2025. I don't know if that means a release date in either late 2024 or in late 2025. Just keep that in mind. I would assume they just mean like late 2024, and if it's not in late 2024, it'll be like later on in early, give or take, 2025. I would say between late October 2024 to late February 2025. That's my prediction right there for the release, as I've mentioned even before this came out a while ago. The graphics have been improved over trailers already seen. The even better graphics team. Sorry, again, this is why it's a bit awkward to read. The even better graphics team has answered criticism about the look of the hair, for example. Again, translated like 3 times. So I don't know if they have a team working on the game that's called the better graphics team. That'd be kind of funny if they are. But no, I don't. If I can find it, I'll post it. From the what was it? From one of the first trailers, they've basically changed how Vegeta looks, like his hair. And it just looks like much better. No, that's it. It's from the first reveal trailer of Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta, or Base Vegeta, and then Base Vegeta, Got It Gun in the Rivals trailer. Like, again, I'm playing both of them in the background of the video, so feel free to pause when Vegeta uses Got It Gun. You can tell they've already, like, what, 4, 5, 6 weeks afterwards, they've already improved that, which is fantastic. Them actually, even prior to the release, them actually listening and looking for feedback. I love this. And as you just saw, the outfits will be able to be deteriorated during battles, and the fights are designed to be longer than the old ones. Okay, that's interesting. About the last part. Again, I did take a quick read of this before I started recording, but a few of the things I may have missed. So, I mean, what's the average length of a battle in Xenoverse 2? Between a minute to a minute 30, give or take. So, I don't know what... this could be interesting. Unless that means 5-on-5 returns, like switching, who knows. And then Ryo Mito, I've probably pronounced that guy's name like 7 different times, remains the project's main decision maker. So again, the guy who basically produced Tenkaichi 3 is overseeing everything. And a question, well, if something gets added or removed or have you from Sparking Zero, it has to go through him. I love that. Fantastic. That's the one person in the world for this game you want making like the final decisions, because, well, he's the guy who oversaw and produced Tenkaichi 3, which is one of, if not the most beloved Dragon Ball games of all time. The game's cover art is already ready and features the style of the old designs, potentially those of Nakasura. I apologize. So yeah, I'd imagine that there's going to be several characters on the screen, on like the box art, and like the console loading art and all of that, similar to what we saw for like Tenkaichi 1, Tenkaichi 2, and Tenkaichi 3. Fantastic stuff right there. Several other trailers will be released over the coming months, each time presenting something new. Once again, not really a surprise that we're going to get more trailers. I don't know how many several means. I think several is like 3 or more or 4 or more. So I'd assume that we'll get a story mode trailer, which we'll talk about the story mode in a moment, as well as maybe a trailer that shows off, you know, like, I don't know, like mid-battle fusions, should they be in the game, all that good stuff there. Fantastic. This next one's quite big. Characters from the Dragon Ball movies will be included, up to and including Gohan Beast, probably. Gohan Beast, no surprise. I think I said he should be well, not that he should be, but I imagine he might be a DLC character or pre-order or something. Now, I don't know what they mean by Dragon Ball movies. Do they mean just movies from the franchise, or movies from, you know, starting from the OG Dragon Ball as in Aita, Android 8, who was a character, a playable character in Tenkaichi 3. I don't know, but again, the fact that there's going to be characters from Dragon Ball Z, what have you, movies such as, this isn't confirmed yet, but I'll be surprised if it's not added, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, the Dragon Ball Z version, not the Super version, as well as, not really a surprise, right? It's like, sure, of course, right? Like, that makes complete sense. So I have actually missed a question here, like a screenshot, but again, it's in the link. It's already been confirmed. But before we get, well, let's get into this last question here. The team is very attentive to the community on Twitter and by email. I don't know what the email is. I'd assume it's the Bandai ticket email to improve the game thanks to reviews. Royal Mito himself has asked for feedback from all over the world. Constructive criticism is particularly appreciated. I love this so much. It's like they really, really, really are going to be... Like, for example, if you say, oh, I want every single character that's ever existed, they'll probably just like delete and probably block you, to be honest. But like if it's something constructive, like for example, I will be making a list in the next few days or weeks, what have you, or like give it some proper thought, then I'll be sending a Bandai ticket with the feedback or with like some suggestions. Like don't make it like every character. Like I would assume things like things that may be considered will be things that won't be too difficult to implement. For example, changing the aura of existing characters. I would love to have a character such as, for example, Super Saiyan Blue Goku with just a standard golden Super Saiyan aura. Granted, you could do this in Tenkaichi 3 and the Raging Blast games, so I don't think it's necessarily too far-fetched to think that that won't be in, but that's just an example. And as I just said as well, one of these, I don't know why I've not got it, unless, whatever, I don't know. No, the story mode's confirmed. There is going to be a story mode, a Dragon Ball story mode. This is confirmed in this interview. I don't know why I don't have this. I do apologize. Yeah, if I can find that, I'll post it. But again, it will be linked in the description as well to the original Twitter that did this interview. But no, it's not just me saying it for clickbait. Story mode has been confirmed, officially confirmed for Sparking Zero. And with that said, that's all I have for you today. Again, if you're looking forward to Sparking Zero and want to see content on it, subscribe, all that good stuff. There'll be a link in the description for my Dragon Ball Sparking Zero playlist. With that said, thank you all for watching. I do hope you enjoyed it. More videos on the screen right now, and I'll see you on one of these videos in just a moment.